is always a special time of the year for us veterans when all these kids get these letters. And as we're waiting today, somebody walked in from the middle school. Dave, I think you put them over there on the table? Where did you put all those letters from the middle school?
Oh, they're all, yes. They're right here.
One of the teachers walked in today and handed a pack of letters from the middle school for us vets, a way of thanking us and for our service and whatnot. It's been an explosive weekend for all of us here. There's so much going on for the vets, and I don't know if it's because that Veterans Day fell on a Sunday or what, but I'll tell you, it sure made something. And every place you go, everybody was thanking you if you had your hat on. And, there was so much free lunches, you know, haircuts. It's getting crazier, or nicer, I should say. And then I go up to Lowe's, and I'm pulling into Lowe's, and I can't, what does that sign say? That's not a handicap sign. And I got a little closer, and it says, veteran parking only. I said, wait a minute, that's 4 spaces for veterans at Lowe's. So, of course, I went over there and parked. I couldn't wait to tell, you know, they got the greeter when you walk in the door. I couldn't wait to get to that greeter and say, you know where I parked? I had my hat on. She said, front row, I know, you parked there, right? Thank you for your service. I said, yeah, that's cool. Wow, it's cold out there. But anyway, there's just a lot of things that were being said that done for us now. Man, it really means a lot. It really does. But anyway, now this evening, you guys are here. I'm going to turn this over to our chaplain, Dave Dyer. He's the one that coordinated all this stuff. He's the one that puts this all together, hands out the judgments and stuff, and the letters. This guy goes through so much to make this thing happen for our posts, and I'm so proud of him. I'm going to bring him up here and kick this thing off so we can see what it's all about and hear your winning letters. David, come on up.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you. Yes, this has become one of my favorite nights of the year. This is the night that we will hear from our winners of the VFW-sponsored essay writing contest. And one thing I want to make clear at the beginning, well, 2 things. One thing, you're going to be recorded, and it will eventually appear on Pro-Seal TV. I don't know when, but when I find out, I'll let you know. It may be soon, we'll see. But anyhow, you're not being graded on your performance of reading your essay tonight. The essays are out of our hands now, and they will soon be in the hands of the judges at our District 4, where the winner will be announced on 5th of January at a banquet, and I'll have more on that in about another week or so. I'll let you know all about that when I get the information. So, with all that being said, let's begin. And first up will be Janie Ottenbright. Janie. I first met Janie 2 years ago, as she was one of our winners in the Patriots Pin contest at the middle school as an 8th grader. And now she's a winner of the Voice of Democracy as a high school sophomore. Janie?
Imagine living in a country where you did not have the right to voice your opinion. Imagine living in a country where you could not cast your choice on a political leader who will determine your future. Imagine watching your country fall apart and having no way to propose your ideas or elect a stronger leader. It would be frustrating and degrading. One of the most amazing things about living in America is that you'll never have to be in any of those situations. As an American citizen, one of our greatest blessings is our right to vote. But with that blessing comes a huge responsibility. Voting is a fundamental process that keeps our system of government working. You personally have a voice in the decisions made by our country, and your voice matters. Voter engagement is something we all need to work on. Statistically, midterm elections show a decline in voting. To me, this means that voters do not understand the impact and importance of one's vote in a democratic society. Given the importance of elections in the United States, why do so many people choose not to vote? Many people think their single vote cannot possibly make a real difference, but it truly can. When you choose not to vote, you are giving a stranger the power to make important decisions for your life and our future. You are abandoning all of the important issues in our country, and you are surrendering a chance to make your voice heard. Even when we are divided, every American can stand united in our freedom. Having the opportunity to vote is a direct reflection of that freedom and of what it means to live in a democracy. Many brave Americans sacrifice their lives every day to ensure our freedom and our rights. It is our duty as citizens to exercise those rights. So, my vote matters because I will not live with the consequences of other people's choices. My vote matters because I have strong opinions and the right to voice them. My vote matters because I love my country and want to keep it on the right track. You could talk about who you want in office or what you want done all day long, but nothing will ever come of it unless you take action and vote. Even as a student who cannot vote yet, I have come to recognize the importance of my voice and my role as an American citizen. The decisions our government makes today and every day will continue to affect and influence our country, so why wouldn't you want a part in making sure our government makes the right decisions? A Pew Research report indicated that Generation Xers and younger generations, which would be anyone under 53 years of age, were the majority of eligible voters in the 2014 midterm elections, with an estimated 135 million. But these voters cast 21 million fewer votes than older generations, those older than 54 years, who only account for approximately 93 million eligible voters. A reported 57 million older generation eligible voters voted, and only 36 million of Generation Xers and younger voted. I want to see a change in this, not only from an engagement perspective, but from an educational perspective. Our younger generations need to be educated on the impact their vote can have. They need to understand that we all benefit from knowledge and understanding of how our government works. Writing this essay has been impactful to me. I have more knowledge and understanding. Now, more than ever, I know why my vote matters. Living in America is such a blessing, and I'll forever be grateful for the opportunity this country provides me. I will educate others on the significance of voting, and I will exercise my right to vote because my vote matters.
We're going to switch over to the middle school now, and the theme for the middle school is
Get up.
how I appreciate the
He
American
sits
flag.
right here.
And Jacob, would you come on up, please?
Why I honor the American flag. There are currently over 1 million people who have enlisted in the United States military. That is over 1 million people who would sacrifice their lives for the American flag. That is because to them, the American flag is more than just a symbol. It is an idea of freedom and liberty that they have sworn to protect. I'm no veteran or soldier, but I'm an American citizen who pledges their allegiance to the flag because the flag means so much to me. Years ago, during the Revolutionary War, the flag looked completely different. However, the flag carried the same idea as it does today. The Continental Army understood the risks when they enlisted, but they wanted change, something different than the oppressive British government. They wanted a government that would give them the rights that they felt they deserved, so a government was created, and the flag was created to represent it. They honored that flag because they could not go back to the unfair government that had previously oppressed them. I have yet to mention how I feel about the flag, why I honor the flag. You see, I was born into a society that allows me to share my opinion, a society that allows me to run for office when I grow older, and a society that allows me to live in a safe and secure environment. I have all these rights thanks to my government, the government that was formed so many years ago. When our founding fathers formed this government, they created a flag that would symbolize all the rights I have been given. So when I see the flag, I see more than just a symbol. I see my rights and all the opportunities I have been given. And I see all the people who have sacrificed their lives to protect those rights so people like me could have them. That is why I honor the American flag.
Something cheesy. Never mind.
Well done,
Good job, John.
well done.
Okay, we have one more, and it's, she's also from the middle school, and
The schools
the
won the contest.
theme is the same, how I appreciate the American flag. Your mom told me how to pronounce your name, and I'm gonna try it, and I'm still gonna get it wrong, so I want you to correct me. Ankiewicz? And, okay. I can't spell it. so-
Good job.
Why I honor the American flag. In the early colony of Pennsylvania, 1776, a woman named Betsy Ross was mourning her late husband, who had just died fighting for his new amazing country. To her surprise, George Washington entered her home and asked her to make the first American flag. It's amazing to see how the American flag's meaning has changed throughout the years. It started as a sign of independence that the colonists so desperately craved, but now it means so much more. The American flag is part of our story. It's a sign of freedom, but most of all, it represents all those who have fought to keep our beautiful country safe. There are so many reasons for people to honor the American flag. For me, I honor it because of the exceptional soldiers who fought to keep our country safe and what it is today. My reason is my papi. Although I never got to meet my papi, I can tell that he was an amazing person. Like so many Americans, my papi put his life on hold to defend our country. He ended up getting wounded and received a Purple Heart for his service during World War II. Even though being in war is awful, he was one of the lucky ones. He came back to start a family and lead a happy life. Unfortunately, that is not the case for every American hero. 416,800 American heroes died during World War II. Because of this, 416,800 people never told their family that they loved them for the last time. 416,800 families never heard their loved ones' last words. 416,800 died for America. When I look at the American flag, I can't even imagine what these veterans and their families went through. My family is so fortunate that my papi came back. The fact that veterans are not appreciated enough almost brings tears to my eyes. Some people just expect the soldiers to go through intense training, fight for our freedom, see awful things they will never forget, and be fine when they get home. Some people are just not aware of the tolls war could take on a person, even if they are not in combat. The next time you have a rough day, just look at our flag. So many have fought for you and your rights, for you to have the ability to lead a life that is beyond compare.
Okay, now, I'd like to introduce someone who is a friend of mine. In fact, he was in our Sunday school back a few years, seemed like it was just a couple years ago, when I was a shepherd, when my wife and I were shepherds, and he was I don't know how old they go up to in Sunday school, but I'm going to introduce you to him now. He is a member of our local Boy Scout Troop 1261, and he is currently working on an Eagle Scout project. Alex, would you come up and tell us just exactly what you're doing?
Recently, about, I'd say a month ago, I started my Eagle Scout project. It was at Westcroft Gardens. I'd say at least most of you probably know about it. It's on West River. And I was clearing out a 20 by 20 square foot area that had been previously in use by the gardens, and basically refurbishing it, replacing the bricks, putting down new plants. I did all sorts of stuff. It was a ton of fun. I got friends to help. It was awesome. And I only have one real step left, and then I can call it done, and I can move on. And I'm so excited to finish it, and I can go back and see it again, year after year if I so wish. And to give sort of perspective, I have a sort of before and after. As you can see in the before section, it's totally wooded, it's crowded over. You can barely even see past it. And in the after section, it's totally clear. And even that was taken only about 3/4 of the way into our work. And after that, we replaced all the bricks and we placed down new plants. The last step that we have to do is we're going to be creating benches and putting them on either sides of the bricked area. And unfortunately, that costs a bit of money. And so I'm here today to ask for a donation for me to complete the final step of my project. So I can become an Eagle Scout, hopefully. And that's about it. Oh yeah, one more thing, sorry. In the area, one of the reasons it became overgrown was because they placed down a large wisteria plant, not knowing how invasive the particular species was, and it grew, it's killed like 5 trees by choking them out with the vines. And one of the big environmental things that we helped with was to get rid of a large part of it. So it would hopefully take much longer, or maybe even stop taking down trees altogether. And this is how much there was to it. And this is like 2 pieces of wisteria wrapped around each other. And we had to like chop it down and get it down from all sorts of trees. It was so difficult, but it was a lot of fun because I was working with Boy Scouts and with friends, and I'm hoping that I could get a donation to finish the last part of my project. That's all.
Could we have the 3 winners come forward again, please? Kelly, you're first.
Certificate
It's
award
an
for
honor.
the winning. Thank you so much for writing and putting your heart into this.
Jacob, well done.
Thank you.
I really
We'll get all
enjoyed your
3 of you,
paper.
everybody at one time.
That's for you.
Yeah.
And Jacob?
I'm gonna explain it. Jane?
You were wonderful. Very proud of all of you.
Very
Yeah.
good.
And we also have another, oh,
We'll get a
excuse me.
picture of the 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Come on up in front, everybody, in front of the flags, guys.
I'm gonna stand in front of that camera. Come on, Gabe, up.
Beautiful.
There you go. Got him.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
don't go yet. Sandra, you want to come forward, please? Sandra's from Bates Chevrolet, and we had an assembly at the middle school last Friday, and somehow Sandra found out about it, and she found out that they were going to choose a winner, and so she came up with, from Bates Chevrolet, and they were going to present the winner with a $150 check. Then she found out that there was 2 winners, and so she got the approval, and they're awarding the 2 winners $100 each. She didn't know about the 3rd winner in the high school. So we just dug a little deeper in our VFW fund, and we're making that up so that all 3 winners will equally get a total of $200 each.
To introduce myself again, I'm Sandra from Michael Bates Chevrolet, and the reason we actually found out about this event, what was going on, was, well, partly because my daughter is in the middle school, but because she's in the middle school, she knew a girl that was on the Girl Scout troop that was working on the Memorial Garden, and we heard about that project, and of course we saw all the hard work they were doing because Facebook, right? We all find out about these things, and we definitely want to be a part of that, so we were able to contribute at that point $300 to help them finish their Memorial Garden, and we're looking forward to seeing the lighting out there for the flags. And it was it was very serendipitous because we were here and we had an opportunity to meet some of the people here and hear about the projects. So I want to say, young man in the back, come see me afterwards. I'll give you my card because they're always looking for projects to fund. It aligns very well with what we're trying to do as a dealership. And I mentioned this on Friday at the middle school, but really it's about community and it's about, education, and I think the rich history that we celebrate in Groseal, and we are very proud of it, and that's okay. But these things are very inspiring to us because we see these generations come together to make a difference. And 3 winners. I think the takeaway from this story is thank a veteran and go play the lottery because these guys are pretty lucky. We started off with 1, 2, and now 3. So we're going to present a check, and congratulations, you guys. Really, this is just, it's amazing and it's very heartening to see. I think that we need this. Servant leadership for our future generation is one of the most inspiring things, I think, to people in the business community. And as Americans, we like to see a young generation of leadership grow, and this is one of the best ways, is with a serving heart. So thank you, guys.
We have 3 teachers here among us. Could I ask you the 3 of you to come up here, please? This is Brenda Mays from Bates Elementary School in Woodhaven. And for many years, she has supported us here, both on Memorial Day, Veterans Day, and her class, she has a 5th grade class at Bates, and has had the same class for 20-some years at the same school. And it's just going to become a routine for her to shower us with these letters and posters every year. And I have been asked for the last 3 years to speak to their class, and I'm always happy to do it. So now,
Let's hear it for Brenda.
yeah. Andrea has filled the shoes of Susan Dusut at the middle school, and very capably. We had 38 entries in her first year of doing this. And the essays, I'll tell you, they were every one of them seemed to be, you could almost put them in a pot and picked out 2 winners, but we did get 2 good winners, and we can only pick 2. So I thank Andrea for that.
Can I add something?
Sure.
Okay, so on behalf of the middle school, thank you for having us tonight. Unfortunately, Mr. Whitehouse couldn't join us, but he definitely wanted me to send well wishes to the winners, of course. And again, a great, great load of thanks to the community for being so supportive and offering this wonderful opportunity for our students. I have to tell you, because I had the chance to read all 38 essays before sending them off, I was just finding myself like very emotional, as I'm sure you are when you have your students do projects as well. So this is just a great, great, great opportunity, and thank you so much.
Tina Bertino is which is your 3rd year now? Yeah, 3rd year at the high school. History class, right? American history. Yeah, American history class. And well, I've spoken to her classes a couple of times, and the difference between the high school and the middle school is that the high school must record their essay on a compact disc or an audio disc or a flash drive, and that's what they're graded on. But that's the way it is. But Tina has done an outstanding job, and I'm certainly glad to work with her. Have been for 3 years now, and continue to do so.
Thank you.
And we also have The VFW is also giving checks, $100 checks to each of these teachers, but it's used for their classroom and whatever. But it's for their support and for having us every year. So